Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's regional semifinal baseball playoff game between the Pettus Eagles and your Dehennis Cowboys, live here on Dehennis Athletics on Facebook and also on YouTube this afternoon. As they're introducing first the visiting Pettus Eagles here for game number one of the best of three series, as we'll have game one and game number two after 30 minutes after game number one.
Behind the plate, number 4, Felix Flores.
And we're going to let y'all listen in to the introductions of both teams.
In left field, number 5, McLean Coons. And in right field, number 8, Gabe Soto. And now for the Dehennis Cowboys. In center field, number 13, D. Diaz. In left field, number 22, L. Herman. Behind the plate, number 11, W. Seaway. At shortstop, number 3, E. Tapia. At second base, number 2, J. Garcia. At third base, number 4, R. Redden. Pitching, number 8, D. Gonzalez. The DH, number 1, Hernandez. Hitting, for first baseman, number 33, Puente. In right field, number 5, A. Mira. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you would please stand and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live from Jordanton High School. Regional semifinal game number one between the Pettus Eagles and your Dehennis Cowboys, live here on Dehennis Athletics on Facebook and also on YouTube this afternoon. The Dehennis Cowboys are the designated home team for game number one, and the Pettus Eagles are the visiting team for game number one. Getting the start on the mound for the Cowboys is number 8, Dalen Gonzalez. Behind the plate, Will Shavi. At third base, Rain Redden. At shortstop, Eusebio Tapia. At second base, J.J. Garcia. At first base, Jaden Puente. In the outfield from left to right, Leighton Herman, Dante Diaz, and Aiden Nita. And introducing the visiting Pettus Eagles under head coach Rolando Cepeda, assistant coach Matt Valadez, principal Ricky De Leon, superintendent Kate Atkins, athletic director Michael Enriquez, sophomore number 0 Gabriel Hernandez, senior number 1 Garrett Grayson, freshman number 2 Ramon Reina, senior number 3 Jandrick Scow, Freshman number 4, Felix Flores. Freshman number 5, McLean Kuntz. Sophomore number 7, Alex Hartsfield. Senior number 8, Gabriel Soto. Number 12, Albert Orozco. Number 10, Jarek Scow. And sophomore number 11, Matthew Hernandez. Freshman number 17, Juan Iguirre. The winner of today's game will advance to the Region 4 final to face Fayetteville, as they were a 10-0 winner over Round Top Carmine last night in a one-game series. And leading the game off for the Eagles is the pitcher, number 2, Ramon Reina.
Number 2, Raymond Reina.
Once again, Dalen Gonzalez getting the start on the mound for the Cowboys. Will Shavy behind the plate. Rain Redden at third base. Eusebio Tapia at shortstop. JJ Garcia on second. Jaden Puente at first base. In the outfield from left to right, Leighton Herman, Dante Diaz, and Aiden Nita. First pitch coming up from Gonzalez to Ramon Reina. Wind up in the pitch. High for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Reina. A pitch in there for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on the batter. Gonzalez with the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on the batter. Gonzalez with the windup and the pitch. Low for ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on the batter. Leadoff batter for the Eagles, Ramon Reina. Gonzalez with the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3 and out number 1. Up next is number 3, the shortstop, Jondrick Scow. First pitch from Gonzalez. Scow hits it to right field. And Nita makes the catch for out number 2. As Aiden Nita called everyone off and made the catch out in right field. And up next is the first baseman, number 12, Albert Orozco. Gonzalez with the pitch in there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Orozco. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on the batter. The pitch, hit, fielded by Redden at third, fires it over to first to Puente for out number 3. Remain scoreless. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back.
welcome back. I'm certainly glad you could join me today because today is a very, very special day to me, and I'm glad that you're here to share it with me. So let's get started. Tell you what, I want to get you to try being creative on canvas, just to take your time and sit down and have nothing in mind when you start. Just have a good feeling and be happy and in love with life and your world, and sit down and begin playing. Okay, now I'm going to wash the old brush. And as you know, we wash our brushes with odorless thinner, shake off the excess, just beat the devil out of it. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a super little painting. It'll teach you a great deal. And I want to thank you once again for sharing today with me, because this was a very special day. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting and God bless.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live from Jordanton High School, regional semifinal, game number 1 between the Dennis Cowboys and the Pettus Eagles. And leading off the inning for the Cowboys is the center fielder, number 13, Dante Diaz. And getting the start on the mound for the Eagles is Ramon Reina. Behind the plate, Felix Flores, Alex Hartsfield at third base, Jelandric Scow at shortstop, Garrett Grayson at second base, Albert Orozco at first base, and outfield from left to right, McLean Coons, Gabriel Hernandez, and Gabriel Soto. First pitch is in there for strike one. So no balls and 1 strike on Dante Diaz. Wind up in the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Once again, Ramon Reina on the mound for the Eagles. Reina with the windup and the pitch. Hit over to first and stopped by Orozco. And he's going to get the out at first. And up next is the left fielder, number 22, Leighton Herman. Reina with the windup and the pitch. Just missed outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Herman. The pitch. Outside and low for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Leighton Herman. With Ramon Reina on the mound for the Eagles. The pitch. Caught the outside corner for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Herman. The pitch. Reina pitches it. Bobbled by the second baseman, and Herman will reach first safely on the error. And up next is the catcher, number 11, Will Shavy. So once again, Reina on the mound for the Eagles. Herman on first, and Herman's going to get back to the bag as Reina stepped off the mound. The pitch, high for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes on the batter, Will Shavy. With Herman on first for the Cowboys. The pitch from Reina. Outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Shavy. Herman's going to get back to the base underneath the tag. So the count remains 2 balls and no strikes on the batter, Will Shavy. With 1 out here in the bottom of the first. A pitch. Shavy hits it, gets by the shortstop. Oh, actually, he made a great catch and turned a double play. Great catch by the shortstop, Jandrick Scow, to get the Eagles out of the inning. As we head to the top of the second, scoreless. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back.
Well, hello there. I bet you didn't know I am a big fan of the Hennis Cowboys and Cowgirls. So go get them and let's win. Remember, we are the Hennis.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live from Jordanton High School. Dalen Gonzalez reigns on the mound for the Cowboys. Will Shavy behind the plate. Rain Redden at third base. Eusebio Tapia at shortstop. JJ Garcia at second base. First base, Jaden Puente. And the outfield from left to right, Leighton Herman, Dante Diaz, and Aiden Nita. And leading the inning for the Eagles is number 7, the third baseman, Alex Hartsfield. First pitch swung back and hit into the net. So no balls and 1 strike on Hartsfield. Gonzalez with the pitch. Just miss outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Hartsfield. Gonzalez with the windup in the pitch. Inside and high for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter. The pitch in there for strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on the third baseman, Alex Hartsfield. The pitch from Gonzalez, swing and a miss for strike 3 and out number 1. And up next is the second baseman, number 1, Garrett Grayson.
Number 1, Grayson.
First pitch from Gonzalez, swing and a miss for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Grayson. And that one's fouled back. Brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes on the batter. pitch from Gonzalez. Swing and a miss for strike 3 and out number 2. And up next is number 0, the center fielder, Gabriel Hernandez. Gonzalez with the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Hernandez. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Gabriel Hernandez with Dalen Gonzalez on the mound. The pitch, catch the inside corner for strike 3. And that is the 4th strikeout of the game by Dalen Gonzalez. As we head to the bottom of the 2nd, we remain scoreless. So we'll be right back. Leading off the inning for the Cowboys is the shortstop, number 3, Eusebio Tapia. With Ramon Reina on the mound for the Pettus Eagles. First pitch coming up from Reina. Is high for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes on Tapia. The pitch. Tapia swings and fouls it back. And out of play. So it's bringing the count to 1 ball and 1 strike on Tapia. So once again, 1 ball and 1 strike on the shortstop, Eusebio Tapia. With Ramon Reina on the mound. Wind up and the pitch. Tapia swings, pops it up in the infield. And the catch is made by the pitcher, Ramon Reina, for out number 1. And up next is the second baseman, number 2, J.J. Garcia. Reina with the pitch. Low for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on J.J. Garcia. The pitch from Reina. In there for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on the batter. The pitch. Garcia hits it. And it's going to land in fair as he gets by the third baseman. And he's going to make his way towards second for a stand-up double by J.J. Garcia. And up next is the third baseman, number 4, Rain Redden.
Now batting, number 8, Gonzalez. Correction, number 4, Redden.
So JJ Garcia on second. Rain Redden at the plate for the Cowboys. Reina on the mound for the Eagles. The pitch. Redden swings and pops it up. And the first baseman is there, and it's going to go over the head of the first baseman as the catch was made by the second baseman, Garrett Grayson, for out number 2. And up next is the pitcher, number 8, Dalen Gonzalez. Reina steps off the mound. And JJ Garcia with the good size lead on second. And Reina once again steps off the mound. So no count on Dalen Gonzalez. JJ Garcia on second. The pitch. Low for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Dalen Gonzalez with JJ Garcia on second for the Cowboys. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Reina with the pitch. Gonzalez swings and pops it up in the infield. And the catch is made by the shortstop, Jandrick Scow, for out number 3 as we head to the top of the third scoreless. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back.
The score remains tied.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dalen Gonzalez on the mound for the Cowboys. Will Shelby behind the plate. Rain Redden at third base. Eusebio Tapia at shortstop. JJ Garcia at second. Jaden Puente at first base. The outfield from left to right. Leighton Herman, Dante Diaz, and now checking in the right field is Aaron Chapman. First pitch is high and outside for ball 1. At the plate is the catcher, number 4, Felix Flores for the Eagles. Gonzalez with the pitch. High and inside for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Flores. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter, Felix Flores. A pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Flores. Gonzalez with the pitch, low and under turf. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Flores. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3, and out number 1. And that is the 5th strikeout of the game for Dalen Gonzalez. And up next is the left fielder, number 5, McLean Kuntz. First pitch from Gonzalez in there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Kuntz. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on the batter. The pitch from Gonzalez, swing and a miss for strike 3 and out number 2. And up next is the right fielder, number 8, Gabriel Soto.
Now batting, number 8, Soto.
A pitch from Gonzalez. Just missed inside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Soto. The pitch, low for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on the batter. The pitch from Gonzalez. Chopped foul into Eagle dugout. Brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Gabriel Soto. The pitch from Gonzalez. In there for strike 2. So deuces across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The pitch from Gonzalez. In there for strike 3. And we remain scoreless. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live from Jordanton High School. Game 1 of the best of 3 series between the Hennis Cowboys and the Pettus Eagles. Original semifinal game. Leading off the inning for the Cowboys is number 1, the designated hitter, Marcus Hernandez. Ramon Reina remains on the mound for the Eagles.
Batting, number 1, Hernandez.
First pitch in there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Hernandez. The pitch from Reina. Hernandez hits it. And he's going to find an open gap right over the head of the second baseman for a single. And up next is the right fielder, number 18, Aaron Chapman.
Now batting, number 18, Chapman.
So Hernandez on first, Aaron Chapman at the plate. The pitch. Just missed for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Chapman. Once again, Hernandez on first for the Cowboys. Reina on the mound for the Eagles. And Reina will step off the mound. So 1 ball, no strikes on Aaron Chapman. Pitch is high for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Chapman. Once again, Marcus Hernandez led the inning off with a single. The pitch. Chapman swings and hits it and pops it up over the head of the second baseman. And the center fielder came charging in, but the ball will drop and land in. So the Cowboys now have runners on first and second. And now we're back to the top of the lineup with the center fielder, number 13, Dante Diaz. With Hernandez on second, Chapman on first. And Ramon Reina on the mound for the Eagles. With runners on first and second. And Reina will step off the mound with no outs here in the bottom of the third. The pitch. Just missed outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Dante Diaz. Hernandez on second, Chapman on first. The pitch. High for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Diaz. And the pitch. In there for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter. With Marcus Hernandez on second, Aaron Chapman on first. The pitch. Missed outside for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike on the batter, Dante Diaz, with runners on first and second for the Cowboys. And no outs here in the bottom of the third. The pitch from Reina. And the turf for ball 4. So Diaz will make his way towards first, and it's going to load up the bases for the left fielder, number 22, Leighton Herman.
Now back, number 22, Herman.
So Hernandez on third. Chapman on second. Dante Diaz on first. And Herman at the plate. First pitch outside for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes on Herman. The pitch high for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on the senior left fielder, Leighton Herman, with the bases loaded with Hernandez, Chapman, and Diaz on the base pads. The pitch high and inside for ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes on Herman. The pitch from Reina. Just missed outside for ball 4. And Marcus Hernandez will come in and score on the walk. And up next is the catcher, number 11, Will Shavy. With Chapman on third, Diaz on second, Herman on first, and Shavy at the plate. First pitch inside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Shavy. A pitch from Reina. In there for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Will Shavi, the catcher. The bases loaded. Chapman on third, Diaz on second, Herman on first. The pitch in there for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. The windup and the pitch. Low and inside for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike on Xavi. The pitch. Xavi hits it foul down first base side. It's going to bring the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes now on the batter. The bases loaded with no outs here in the bottom of the third. Cowboys just added a run on the walk. Staying out with the pitch. High for ball 4. And Xavi will draw the walk and make his way towards first. Chapman will come in and score. Diaz will move over to third. Harmon to second. Xavi at first. And up next is the shortstop, number 3, Eusebio Tapia. As head coach Rolando Cepeda will go out and speak to his pitcher, Ramon Reina. As the Cowboys have the bases loaded. Once again with Diaz on third. Herman on second. And checking into the game, the courtesy run is Ken and Zachary. And now coming up to the plate to bat for the Cowboys is the shortstop, number 3, Eusebio Tapia. Once again with no outs here in the bottom of the third. Pitch from Reina. Tapia swings and hits it back into the net. Foul. So brings the count to no balls and 1 strike on Tapia. The pitch from Reina. Tapia swings and fouls it back. So the count is now no balls and 2 strikes on Tapia. The pitch. Tapia swings and fouls it back. Once again, count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Tapia. With the bases loaded, Diaz, Herman, and Zachary. The pitch, high for ball 1. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tapia. Reina with the pitch. Tapia hits it, and it's going to drop in, land in front of the center fielder, as Diaz will come in and score. And an RBI single for Eusebio Tapia.
Now batting, number 2, Garcia.
And up next is the second baseman, number 2, JJ Garcia. With Herman on third, Zachary on second, Tapia on first. First pitch in there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Garcia. First pitch. Garcia hits it, chops it foul down third base side. So brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Garcia hits it right up the middle. And Herman's going to come in and score. And Zachary making his way towards home. And Zachary will come in and score. Estapia advances to third. Garcia to second. As Garcia brings in 2 runs for the Cowboys. And up next is number 4, the third baseman, Rain Redden. A pitch high for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Redden. Reina with the pitch. And Redden swings and fouls it back. Brings the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Redden. The pitch. Redden hits it. And it's going to go foul down third base side. So it's going to bring the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rain Redden. With Eusebio Tapia on third, JJ Garcia on second. With no outs here in the bottom of the third. Reina with the pitch. Redden swings. Fielded by the third baseman. Fires it over to first. As Tapia comes in and scores. And Garcia moves over. Garcia remains on second for the Cowboys.
Now batting, number 8.
And up next is the pitcher, number 8, Dalen Gonzalez. The pitch. High for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes on Dalen Gonzalez with JJ Garcia on second for the Cowboys. And Reina steps off the mound. The pitch. Low for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Gonzalez. The pitch. Low for ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes on Gonzalez. With Garcia on second. And with 1 out. And Reina will step off the mound once again. So 3 balls and no strikes on Dalen Gonzalez. And they're going to call a balk on the pitcher. So Garcia is going to advance to third. So 3 balls and no strikes on Gonzalez. The pitch. And Gonzalez will make his way towards first as he draws the walk. And up next is number 1, Marquez Hernandez.
Now batting, number 1, Hernandez. Courtesy runner.
And courtesy running is number 21, Cade Henry. With Garcia on third, Henry on first. And Marquez Hernandez now at the plate for the Cowboys. First pitch. Henry's making his way towards second. And he's going to be safe. As the first pitch was a ball to Hernandez. Reyna's next pitch outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Marcus Hernandez, with Garcia on third, Henry on second. The pitch, Hernandez swings, pops it up down the right field line, and the catch will be made by the first baseman, Albert Orozco, for out number 2. And up next is the right fielder, number 18, Aaron Chapman.
Now batting, number 18, Chapman.
The pitch from Reyna, high for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes on Aaron Chapman. Garcia on third, Henry on second. And the pitch, swing and miss for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Chapman. And Reyna's going to step off the mound. The pitch, Chapman swings and misses for strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chapman, with runners on second and third for the Cowboys. The pitch, low for ball 2. So deuces across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third, Cowboys have scored 6 runs here, with runners on second and third. The pitch, low for ball 3. So full count on Chapman. The pitch in there for a call, strike 3. As we head to the top of the 4th, the Cowboys leave 2 runners stranded, but bring 6 runs across, and the Cowboys lead 6-0. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back. And leading off the inning is the pitcher, number 2, Ramon Reina for the Eagles. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Reina with Dalen Gonzalez on the mound for the Cowboys. Reina swings and fouls it back out of play, brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes on Reina. The pitch from Gonzalez in there for strike 3 and out number 1. That is the 8th strikeout of the game for Dalen Gonzalez. And up next is the shortstop, number 3, Jandrick Scow. First pitch from Gonzalez in there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Scow. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. The pitch swung and fouled back and out of play. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Scow. The pitch in there for strike 3 and out number 2. And up next is number 12, the first baseman, Albert Orozco.
Now batting, number 12, Orozco.
First pitch. Just miss for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes on Orozco. A pitch from Gonzalez, swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on the batter. A pitch from Gonzalez, swing and a miss for strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. A pitch from Gonzalez, swing and a miss for strike 3. And the 10th strikeout for Dalen Gonzalez. As the Cowboys lead 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back.
Hi, welcome back. I'm certainly glad you could join me today because today is a very, very special day to me, and I'm glad that you're here to share it with me. So let's get started. Tell you what, I want to get you to try being creative on canvas. Just to take your time and sit down and have nothing in mind when you start. Just have a good feeling and be happy and in love with life and your world and sit down and begin playing. Okay, now I'm going to wash the old brush. And as you know, we wash our brushes with odorless thinner, shake off the excess, just beat the devil out of it. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a super little painting. It'll teach you a great deal. And I want to thank you once again for sharing today with me because this was a very special day. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting and God bless.
Well, hello there. I bet you didn't know I am a big fan of the Hennis Cowboys and Cowgirls. So go get them and let's win. Remember, we are the Hennis.
New pitcher on the mound for the Eagles is number 1, Garrett Grayson. And leading off the inning for the Cowboys, top of the lineup, center fielder number 13, Dante Diaz.
Now batting, number 13, Diaz.
Grayson with the windup and the pitch. High for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Diaz. Once again, Garrett Grayson, the new pitcher on the mound for Pettus. The pitch, high for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on the center fielder, Dante Diaz. The pitch, in there for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Diaz hits it, gets by the first baseman, Orozco. And Diaz will reach first safely on the single. And up next is the left fielder, number 22, Leighton Herman.
Now batting, number 22, Herman.
Diaz with a good-sized lead on first. And Grayson's going to step off the mound. No throw to first. And Grayson will attempt to pick off at first, but Diaz gets back in time underneath the tag. So Leighton Herman at the plate, Dante Diaz on first. Grayson on the mound for the Eagles. Delivers a pitch, and Herman's going to get hit by the pitch, so runners will be now on first and second for the Cowboys. As Diaz will advance to the second, Herman to first. And now coming up next is the catcher, number 11, Will Shavi. So Cowboys with runners on first and second. Shavi at the plate. A pitch in there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Shavi. Garrett Grayson on the mound now for the Eagles. The pitch outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on the batter. Runners on first and second. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Shavi. Diaz on second, Herman on first. The pitch, high for ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on the catcher, Will Shavi. Dante Diaz on second. Leighton Herman on first. Garrett Grayson on the mound for the Eagles. The pitch, Shavi smacks it past the second baseman. And everyone will be safe on the bases. And it's going to load up the bases now for the shortstop, number 3, Eusebio Tapia. As Canyon Zachary will go in a courtesy run for Will Shavi at first. So Dante Diaz on third, Leighton Herman on second,
Number 3,
Cannon Zachary on first, and now at the plate, the shortstop number 3, Eusebio Tapia, with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the fourth with no outs. First pitch in there, first strike one. So no balls and 1 strike on Tapia. The pitch just missed. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Tapia. The pitch in there, first strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Eusebio Tapia with the bases loaded. The pitch in there for a call, strike 3. And out number 1. And up next is the second baseman, number 2, J.J. Garcia. Once again with the bases loaded, with Diaz on third, Herman on second, Zachary on first. And now J.J. Garcia at the plate. First pitch is high for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on J.J. Garcia. The pitch in there, first strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Bases loaded for the Cowboys. The Hennis leading 6-0 here. J.J. Garcia at the plate. The pitch, Garcia swings and hits it foul down into the Eagle dugout. So brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Garcia. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch, low and in the turf for ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on J.J. Garcia with 1 out. The pitch, Garcia swings. Fielded by the shortstop, force out at second. And Diaz will come in and score. And the Cowboys will have runners on the corners on first and third. And up next is the third baseman, number 4, Rain Redden. So Herman on third, Garcia on first, Rain Redden at the plate with 2 outs. The pitch, high and inside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Redden. And the pitch, Redden swings, pops it up in the infield. And the shortstop Scow is there for out number 3. As the Cowboys leave 2 runners stranded but bring 1 run across. Cowboys lead 7-0. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live from Jordanton High School. Remaining on the mound for the Cowboys is number 8, Dalen Gonzalez. Behind the plate, Will Shavi. At third base, Rain Redden. Shortstop, Eusebio Tapia. Second base, JJ Garcia. First base, Jaden Puente. In the outfield from left to right, Leighton Herman, Dante Diaz. And checking back in the right field is Aiden Nita. And leading off the inning for the Eagles is number 7, Alex Hartsfield. First pitch from Gonzalez is outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Hartsfield. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on the batter. The pitch, low and inside for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, Hartsfield laid down a bunt, fielded by Gonzalez, fires it over to first for out number 1. And up next is the pitcher, number 1, Garrett Grayson.
Now batting, number 1, Grayson.
First pitch in there, first strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Grayson. The pitch, high and inside for ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And next pitch is chopped foul back. So brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the batter. Gonzalez with the windup and the pitch. Hit, fielded by Tapia at short, fires it over to first, and not in time, as that'll be the first hit for the Eagles today by Garrett Grayson. And up next is the sophomore, number 0, Gabriel Hernandez. Hernandez squares around. Shawi fires it over to second. And the ball will get bobbled into center field. And Grayson will advance to third. So no balls and 1 strike on Gabriel Hernandez. With the runner on third for the Eagles. The pitch from Gonzalez swung and fouled back into the net, brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. And out number 2. And that is the 11th strikeout of the game for Dalen Gonzalez.
Now batting, number 4.
And up next is number 4, the catcher, Felix Flores. The pitch from Gonzalez. In there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Flores. Next pitch is high for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Flores. The pitch from Gonzalez, swing and a miss for strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on the batter. With Grayson on third for the Eagles. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. And that is his 12th strikeout of the game for Dalen Gonzalez. Cowboys holding on to a 7-0 lead. You're watching Dennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to start the bottom of the 5th. Cowboys leading 7-0. And leading the inning off for the Cowboys is the pitcher, number 8, Dalen Gonzalez. Once again, Garrett Grayson remains on the mound for the Eagles. First pitch on the turf for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Gonzalez. And now Flores is going to go out and speak with Grayson. We'd like to thank everybody for watching here live on the Hennis Athletics on Facebook and also on YouTube this evening. This is game 1 of the best of 3 series between the Pettus Eagles and your Hennis Cowboys. Cowboys holding on to a 7-0 lead here as we get ready to start the bottom of the fifth with 1 ball and no strikes on Gonzalez. The pitch, Gonzalez swings, chops it to the third baseman who fires it over to first. And Orozco makes the catch for out number 1. And up next is the designated hitter, number 1, Marquez Hernandez. The pitch from Grayson is in there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Hernandez. The pitch inside for ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Hernandez. A wind up in the pitch. Hernandez hits it deep in the gap between left and center. And Hernandez will make his way towards second. For a double for Marquez Hernandez. And up next is the right fielder, number 5, Aiden Nita. The pitch, Nita swings, pops it up, making its way towards left, and it's going to go over in between the left and center fielder. And Hernandez will come in and score. Nita making his way towards third for an RBI triple for Aiden Nita. And up next is the center fielder, number 13, Dante Diaz. And head coach Rolando Cepeda will go out and speak with this pitcher as Aiden Nita with an RBI triple brings in Marquez Hernandez, and the Cowboys extend their lead to 8-0 here in the bottom of the fifth with 1 out. And the top of the lineup coming up with Dante Diaz up next. And number 1, Garrett Grayson, will remain on the mound for the Eagles. The pitch from Grayson and the turf for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Dante Diaz with Aiden Nita on third. The pitch in there for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Diaz with 1 out. The pitch, Diaz swings, pops it up, fielded by the shortstop who fires over to first, but not in time. as Diaz will reach safely on first, and Nita will come in and score. And up next is the left fielder, number 22, Leighton Herman.
Now batting, number 22, Herman.
First pitch inside for ball one, and Diaz will advance to second. Ball gets by the second baseman, and Diaz will advance to third safely. So 1 ball and no strikes on Herman, and Dante Diaz on third for the Cowboys here in the bottom of the fifth. The pitch, Herman hits it, and a beautiful catch by the second baseman for out number 2. And up next is the catcher, number 11, Will Shavi.
Now back, number 11, Chavez.
The pitch, low for ball one. So 1 ball and no strikes on Shavi, with Diaz on third and 2 outs. Garrett Grayson on the mound for the Pettus Eagles. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on the batter. The pitch in there for strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Shavi. The pitch, Shavi swings, and it's going to land foul. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Shavi with 2 outs, with Dante Diaz standing on third for the Cowboys. The pitch, swung and a miss. Or they're going to say he foul tipped it.
All right, let's go, babe. Right here now.
So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes on Shavi. The pitch, Shavi hits it, and it's going to make its way into center field. And Dante Diaz will come in and score, and the Cowboys will win game number 1, 10-0 over the Pettus Eagles. We'll be back in approximately 30 minutes for game number 2.